please welcome to the stage, even though they've already been here, Billy and Dan. Hello.
Hello.
Billy, you're a young lad, a little boy.
Little boy.
You look like Harry Potter. I'm sure you get this all the time.
A few times,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Actually, I was Harry Potter for Halloween when I was 18 years old, so that's when I realized
That must have killed it. That must have been amazing.
I could be Harry Potter if I want. And then I had a job where I worked at a middle school, and I was like an intern at the time making games, and all the students are like, "You're Harry Potter."
Wait,
Darth Doobie says, Greg, he's a guest. Haha. Hey, we're gonna call it down the middle. You're come to Kind of Funny. You know you're gonna be called out if you look like Harry Potter.
I'm ready.
It's a good look. I'm not. For the record, it's a good
Harry
look.
Potter's fine as a character.
Yeah, of course, as a character.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the
I
other
don't wanna-
aspects. All right, I'll break out the soapbox. Right, Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. Dan, you are a rare Triple Crown winner. You
Yeah.
have been to the literal spare bedroom we started Kind of Funny in, the comic book shop, and now the real spare bedroom.
Yeah, we were talking just before this this broadcast here about like way back when you first started Kind of Funny. I was like there working on Axiom Verge
Of course.
originally, and
Mr.
yeah,
Happ, what's up?
and yeah, I will tell him you say hello.
Yeah.
Was that for one?
Axiom Verge 1. So,
Yeah.
so
First
I had
spare-
just
okay.
left Nintendo right at around the same time you left IGN to start Kind of Funny. So we were kind of like all like
We're
leaving
doing
the
it.
corporate world, and we're in the we're doing the indie life thing, and here we are like 9 years later or so.
Yeah, 9 years.
Yeah,
You nailed it.
yeah, and we're
yeah.
still both. We've survived.
We've done somehow. Yeah, we continue to survive. But it's not about us. It's about Billy. Billy,
About Billy.
of course, your studio is called Shared Memory.
Yeah.
Your game is called Animal Well.
Yes.
I feel like it needs no introduction, but as Kevin throws it up on screen, what is Animal Well? Because I'll tell you right now, this is one of those games everybody flips for when it pops into a showcase.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, that's good.
There's pressure. I don't know if you know that.
So it's a game that I really didn't have like I didn't talk to anybody about it when I was making it, so it just kind of is what it is. And then when I was working with Dan early on, I was like, how do we pitch this game?
Yeah,
Like,
and it kind of defies genre categorization. So like there's like Metroidvania elements, but there's like no combat. So
Okay.
it's not really a typical Metroidvania. There's also puzzles in the game and ARG kind of things in the game, but it's not like a puzzle platformer either. So kind of like Billy said, it is what it is, but if you like Metroidvanias, if you like platformers, if you like games that make you think and look for lots of hidden secrets, this will be
This will be the
great
one
game.
for you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, start it up, Dan. Show me what's up.
So I got a question. So
Okay.
how long were you in development before you went full force? Like I'm gonna go into this game. 'Cause
Yeah.
we make prototypes and all kinds of stuff like that.
So this was always like a kind of an after work hobby project. I started in 2017. It's just like I was building the game's engine along with it, and it was just kind of like the project I would go to after work, like to just like have fun in and like add whatever ideas that like I would want to see in the game that sort of didn't have the freedom of my like day job.
What was your day job?
At the time, I was working at this like medical video game startup. We're trying to make like doctor games, but they're more like kind of like interactive PowerPoint presentations.
Oh, okay.
They're
Yeah.
just like
Why is it every educational game's got to stink? You know what I mean? Why can't we figure it out?
So
I
it's like-
digress.
yeah, and they were like mobile games, and it's just like I wanted to make just a good old real video game and do everything like in the purest way I could, and like kind of have a place where I'd like no corners were cut, and like it was just like the purest representation of what I thought of video game.
Well, this is a real game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jump in, Dan. Show me some of
All
this.
right, so
You're
we'll jump
cracking
right in. So I'm
Remember,
gonna
ladies and gentlemen,
drive.
throughout the day, the biggest thing you can do is go to Steam and wish list all these games. There is a QR code in the wide shot, I believe, Kevin, is that where it is? Where people can go on and get to. And if not, we have it.
Yeah,
written.
and one thing we should announce or call out is yesterday we announced our official launch date,
Ooh.
which will be May 9th. So
Nice.
that is hot off the presses. We just announced that yesterday. So
Congrats, guys.
Thank you
That's
so much.
fantastic.
I know it's rough to get to that point. Like, are we confident enough to get to
Yeah.
put an actual date on this?
Yeah.
8 a.m. Central Time. That's when
Mad specific.
Listen, this is where but you got to turn this key. You got to IM this one developer.
I'm sure Dan is like, are you sure? Ready to go?
Oh, we've had that conversation many times.
I love it. This game is like the ambient side of it. It's so gorgeous.
There's a little bit of lag in the controller, so I may not. So if I suck at the game, it's
we're going
not
through our
because
thing.
I haven't played it for like hundreds of hours and know exactly what.
Hold on.
Oh, and those.
There you go. No, there you go. Kevin did it right there. So now
Oh,
you're
there we
set.
go.
Oh yeah.
Now you're set. Now you have no complaint.
Yeah.
All right. If ladies and gentlemen, if Dan dies, it's Dan's fault now. That's what you need to know. Okay.
Yeah, it's super responsive. I'm sitting here. I can vouch for that.
He's like looking at your thumbs. You know what I mean? He's like,
So right here, this is like the first decision point you have where you can go either left or right. Spoiler alert, it doesn't matter because you will have to go the other way eventually later. So I don't know, Billy, if you want to narrate while.
All right, so there's that ghost thing that just scared you away.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
save so I can go back and get killed by it. So the first time playing, like you might not know, like, oh, what does this thing do? Oh, I'm gonna turn this crank, and then oops.
Oh, thank you.
It killed me.
you're on there.
I didn't see Kevin yelling yet. When Kevin gets up and when he stands in the window and looks at Billy, that's when I know he's in trouble.
Yeah, Justin, just so you know, you've been getting away from it
Oh, look at that!
Latency. No.
So anyway, there was an escape path that I could get in the upper left side of that screen. So I took that route and come out over here.
Press that button.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll press that.
Oh, what?
And
what happened?
Yeah, there was a light on the door on the left
Oh,
there.
interesting. I see two other possible lights that aren't illuminated yet.
Yeah, and I see two buttons. How should I get?
So
this is kind of like an intro, like tutorial without being a tutorial area.
Yeah.
So it kind of forces you to learn the mechanics, and without like just saying like, hey, come over here, press this button.
So what are some of the mechanics like that you start off with?
So the
Pressing buttons.
So pressing buttons. The controls are very simple. It's just left and right, and then you A to jump, and then later on we'll find some items. But one of the kind of mechanics, I don't know if mechanic is the right word, but like one of the elements of the game that's kind of special is there's lots of, like I said earlier, a lot of hidden secrets. And so one of the things in this kind of intro area that it forces you to do, so like I use this crank to raise a platform to come over to this side, and now I can't get back.
Oh.
So I have to discover that there's a little secret passageway here. And so we've seen, when we show the game at PAX and at the Mix and other places, like people might spend like, a good 30 seconds trying to figure out like, well, how do I get here? And then once they see like, oh, if I go through here, then that's like their cue to be like, okay, I need to keep an eye out for any of those little secret passageways.
Sometimes they think the game is bad and they're soft locked in the tutorial, but
yeah,
you're like, no, you're just bad at it.
no, trust me, there's something to find.
No, you just suck.
Remember, if you like what you see, ladies and gentlemen, kindafunny.com/mix. That will take you to the Steam page. You can wish list this and all the other games you'll be seeing today.
So I just got the first item here, a firecracker, and I'll demonstrate that.
Are those all firecrackers? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they grow from the ground.
Oh, nice.
Just like real firecrackers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's another of these ghost things that killed me before, and now I have firecrackers. So now I know that if I throw a firecracker, I can, try to use that, and sure enough, that got rid of that ghost. So now I am armed with a firecracker, and I can.
You're the most dangerous man alive.
I
or
can
blob
go back
alive.
to that area and show that ghost what's what.
He's already dead, man. Like,
He's up on
gotta
him.
kill him again. That's tight. Those effects are sick too.
Thank you.
Yeah, Billy, do you want to talk about like the lighting effects and fluid sims? And here, I'll just like show the real-time reflections and like the platform there.
Sure, that's why you fell.
that is literally why.
No, sure it was, Dan.
Here, you can see.
Yeah, no, it's been just like a lot of iteration and work to try to like take pixel art and make it look as fancier and see where I decided early on that I was like, I'm not gonna go for like the sort of authentic like 8-bit pixel art look.
You want to stylize it a bit?
Yeah, and see, it's like,
real-time
okay,
lighting.
let's just embrace like modern computers and see like what kind of pixel art style can you come up with where you're just fully leaning into like doing more graphics effects on it, and still make it look like pixel art and kind of maintain some of the like restraint that it has.
Sure.
So there's a lot of real-time lighting and shadows that are kind of custom made for this game. There's some like a fluid sim that's driving the smoke effects you just saw with the firecracker.
And you did all the art.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. The game is just me.
Yeah.
Just me.
What's Madison's deal then?
Madison is my partner that I am dating.
Oh, so okay, so it's just supporting, just support.
That helps a lot with coming to shows like this. And, yeah, it's just a very good person.
And
That's
she's
awesome.
also an indie developer in her own right. She made a game called Birth,
Oh,
which
Yes.
was a pretty successful game. So that launched. When did
Madison!
that launch? I was like
Madison, come here!
6 months ago.
Come here.
So yeah, Birth is awesome. So shout out to Birth.
Yeah, come in this.
Yeah.
Come in the scene.
Madison, where can people get birth? You're gonna be talking to a microphone.
Here.
You can get Birth on Steam.com or on the Nintendo Switch store.
Blessing, I screamed Madison. That doesn't sound anything like Blessing.
He rolled in real quick.
That's how these employees are kind of funny. They know. I'm sorry. Back to you, Madison.
Greg shouting.
And Xbox.com also, it's on
Go
there.
to Xbox.com.
Wait, is this spelled birth like
like
birth or like there's no U's, extra U's? Or,
No.
Okay. You know how.
yeah.
Cool.
Be careful when you Google it.
Yeah, I would not recommend Googling Birth game.
Just go to Xbox.
Well, hold on. Now I got
I
it.
don't think you should do it. It's gonna hurt you.
He's actually doing it.
Hey, it's
comes
you.
Okay.
You're
that's
more
great.
popular than Birth itself.
Wow.
You show up in the search results at the top.
Madison, how proud are you of Billy for Animal Well?
Oh, I'm so proud. It's the best game.
Okay, good.
It's the very best game.
Well, thank you so much, Madison.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me drag you out here.
Okay, so back to
Yeah,
Animal
bad. All right, stop promoting the other game already.
No, always happy to give a shout out to Birth.
Yeah.
So here I, came across this weird looking dog thing, and there's a disc, so I will take that.
That looks
Haunted.
You better get out of this room.
A quick
Y'all
way
know
to
I
get
love
it.
ghosts. You got me a ghost.
You can't hit him with firecrackers?
Let's try.
It does nothing. Run.
He likes the firecracker more than you.
So he does cause me damage. He doesn't insta-kill me like the ghost did, but
And he travels across screens, which is kind of a
Terrifying.
Yeah, it is pretty.
rule
So-
Pretty
that
scary.
you don't expect to be broken.
So you know what? I am going to give back his disc, and I will figure out what to do with that later.
You know what? I'll put this back.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in a little bit, Ghost
Yeah,
Dog.
he doesn't seem to like people taking his disc.
Understandably so.
So, yeah. I'll just head over here.
So I'm going to ask a really stupid question, Billy. Like, you got the Ghost Dog, Metroidvania, there's no weapons. Is there, what drove the idea for this game? Was it a story, a mechanic, and then how do you figure out how to put stuff like the Ghost Dog in it and all this other stuff without, I'm sure, giving away your narrative and overall of what's going on?
Yeah, I think a lot of the gameplay mechanics are kind of come from like old survival horror games. Like,
Okay.
Just kind of like you see certain moments where the game kind of like tricks you, or it's like making like a puzzle, but it's like how do you make a puzzle scary?
Yeah,
Like, how do
yeah.
you sort of blend, like, take like adventure game stuff, like I'm thinking of like the original Resident Evil or Silent
Sure.
Hill, where it's like,
Can you tell us a moment that kind of
sure, like,
out?
yeah, like one example I can give is like there's like in the original Resident Evil, there's like a art gallery you go in, and it's like a color puzzle where you're like trying to like shine the right color on the right like painting, but and that alone is like kind of a basic adventure game kind of puzzle. But there's like all these crows watching you the whole time, and if you do it wrong, they like attack you. There's actually kind of like a reference to that in this game.
Oh, that's cool.
And or like yeah, I thought it was like in a Metroidvania, you like are kind of collecting these items, but so like the ghost dog you saw, I thought it'd be interesting, like where it's like, what if you can like collect an item, but you can't like have it right away. You can almost like you get teased with it, and you could take it, but you're kind of like it comes with this big cost. So it's like,
You're gonna
okay,
get
how do I actually get this item for real without getting like haunted in the game? So I'm trying to. The game is just like filled with these like interesting, I think, moments, and there's always like a little sort of narrative behind all of them, not in terms of like the game's plot or lore, but like each one is like sort of has a setup to it, I think.
And who are these guys?
All right, so that's a dachshund.
That is
Hell yeah, it
scary.
is.
So the difference between them and other dogs is they were bred to burrow into holes
Wow.
and hunt the
Badgers.
things, the rabbits or whatever.
Wait, that's real? That's,
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, kind of funny fans know that I have a long history with dachshunds. Obviously, I'm on my second one now, but like that was the thing. A mini dachshunds every time, Portillo and now Cole. And I had a friend back in Missouri who told when I got Portillo, who told me a story of like his dad was walking his miniature wiener dog in the woods off leash, and he was like the most pampered wiener dog, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, just lounging. And here comes the Portillo emos in chat. Thank you very much. And he was going, and he saw there was a badger that came out and scurried down its hole, and the mini wiener dog took off down the hole, and the dad just heard the yoip and the. And he's like, oh my God, this badger just killed and sure enough, 30 seconds later, the wiener dog came out with a dead badger in its
Really?
Because like that's what they
I
are
thought you said the
programmed.
badger killed the
That's what the
dog.
dad thought.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I mean, it was just like this fat little sausage dog that sleeps on the foot of their bed. You know what I mean? Like, but like they're bred like so
Yeah.
ingrained in their head that
Oh,
that's what
that's
it's meant
really
for.
interesting.
No, it's crazy when a dog is like bred to be good at one specific
Yeah.
job, and you're like, oh.
Genetically modified, bred to be this
Yeah,
like
to have a
this thing will
purpose in
fit in
life.
holes and get things out of holes. That's great.
Yeah.
So speaking of those animals, there's a bunch of different animals in the game. So here's just some examples right here, and we'll come across some more. But
That's
since
cool.
we were in that room, I wanted to like pause there and just point that out. This is a little puzzle where you have to kind of adjust these
That's awesome.
to fill the cup here.
Oh,
There we go.
There we go.
And this is the bubble area.
It's like bubble bobble, you know? That's awesome.
No pressure, Dan. No pressure, Dan. Thousands of people watching, Dan. No pressure. Don't worry about it. You got an IGN,
I got
GameSpot,
it.
Twitch, Steam,
Yeah.
YouTube.
The fish down there, they were bred to blow those bubbles.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
That's from real life.
That's a real thing I researched. Bubble fish.
Don't they do? They do have those that like make bubbles around like spiders. Have you seen those
That
fish?
sounds familiar.
I haven't seen that fish.
That's
terrifying. I don't like that.
So what happens when you die?
Question I've been wondering a long time.
You respawn and you lose some of your stuff, and some things in the world reset.
Oh, okay.
But puzzles that you solve, like pressing these buttons, they're persistent. So
That's great.
I realize it's not fun to solve a puzzle 2 times in a row, but it is kind of fun to maybe do like some platforming or like get past an enemy multiple times. So it's kind of finding that balance. How the save system works took some iteration.
Yeah, so if I die, though, I would just teleport back to that telephone. So I'm totally anticipating speedrunners will like deliberately kill themselves to like
go back
teleport back to some other place. So I'm interested to see different speedrunning strategies incorporating that.
In the chat, Crushed Lemons said, this game looks great. I've already added it to the Steam wish list. I'm adding this part. Kindafunny.com/mix, of course. But are there more games coming up in this showcase? Of course there are. We have more than 14 games over 16, or 6 hours. 16, Jesus. More than 14 games over 6 hours here on whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it be IGN, GameSpot, Steam, Twitch, or YouTube. Thank you for your support. Remember, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends right now. And of course, go to kindafunny.com/mix to wishlist all the games. I've said this before, but maybe you're looking at some of these games, you're like, well, I'm never going to buy it on Steam. I'm going to buy it on Switch. I'll buy it on PlayStation. I'll buy it on Xbox. That's all well and good. But you're a gamer, so you have a Steam account, so go wishlist it all the same. It helps out devs a lot, right, Justin?
Yes, for sure.
What does wishlisting do? It shows interest, right? I guess so they have an idea of what's happening. Is that the idea?
Also, it helps with the algorithm on Steam, so it starts to push it up to the top.
There you go.
More people see it. Also,
ladies and gentlemen, game the system with us. I don't care where you buy Animal Well. I just want you to wishlist it on Steam.
You got to build a community too, right? You get that's a big part of it. They want to like touch the. I don't know why I said touch, but you really want to.
Yeah, you want to go. We gotta ask everyone to go touch Animal Well on Steam.
So I just got, and I kind of just went through this like first kind of what I would consider a boss battle, probably a little too easily because I've
done
played
it once
before.
or twice. Yeah.
So the first item I got here is a bubble wand, which now I can produce the bubbles that the fish produce, and I can use them to get around the world.
That's fun.
Yeah, so all of the items that you get are basically like either household items or toys or like, so the things that you wouldn't normally expect to get in like a Metroidvania, for example. There's no like, now you get the super gun or you get the double jump or, a
mid-air dash, the slide under the wall dash.
Yeah.
I love all these dashes.
Yeah.
So it's like more traversal options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way I think of it is like for, a Metroidvania, it's like there's like to the extent there's like a spectrum between like combat heavy versus exploration heavy, this is dialed all the way to exploration. It's all about like, not just like moving around the world, but like finding hidden stuff. So for example, in this room here, like, and we were kind of talking over it, so I don't know how many people noticed, but these things here, the thing I'm standing over is a fan that will blow me up, like lift me up. And usually there's an on button that I need to find, and I'm not seeing one. So if I like look down here, these ones are on because I pressed that button up there, but that obviously didn't control this one. So I've got to figure out, well, where is the button? And now that I'm an expert in the game, I know like, oh, vines often hide these kind of secret passageways.
You got that waterfall back there too,
Yeah, so good water effects always, and all these like interesting background effects.
I was looking at the starfish. Really cool. Like,
Yeah, thank you. They want to get you.
oh, really? Is that? Yeah, it looks like they are trying to.
Or
get it.
I don't know. It's like they're drawn to light or something.
You made the game.
I don't want to give it away.
Bad, mysterious. Yeah. I want to know what that little dude is. Right, that's
a mystery that
creepy,
on May 9th you can totally find out.
On what platforms, Dan?
Steam, PS5, and Switch.
Remember, you can go wishlist it on Steam right now. Help out Billy and Dan. And by connection, Madison. If you go to kindafunny.com/mix, wishlist right now and do that and get ready for Animal Well. We're about out of time. Is there anything else you guys want to show?
I think that's about
killer
it.
moment?
I think this is a good place to leave it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the shout out. definitely hope people
thank you guys.
wishlist it and buy it and play it.
For sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you again.
Well, hang out all day. Don't go back to GDC.
Okay.
There's nothing cool happening there. We
I
have
don't
all the
even
cool
have a
people through
pass. I
here.
don't want to go there. I want to stay here.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the start of our shenanigans here for the Mix / Kinda Funny Spring Game Showcase.